This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
All right. I want you Heat fans to strap yourselves in right now. Are you ready? I'm going to do this to you one more time. I did this to you 2 years ago, and I effed with your emotions. And most of you were completely against me. I want to say 99% of you were against me in this. Now 100% of you agree with me. Okay? So, 2 years ago, I told you after the 10 interceptions, it was the time to trade X. Did I not tell you that? And would not that have been the right time? You would have gotten picks back, you would have gotten rid of the salary, the headache, all that stuff, because you don't know when he's going to play like that again. And he's also dealt with injuries. And sure enough, here it is. Never played like that again so far. And he's dealing with injuries. And he also has off the field courtroom issues. Okay. Whether they're legit or not, I don't know. But the problems continue. So it's an issue. The Miami Heat are now at the trading deadline. Do you want to know what I got to say? The Suns tried to trade CP3 for Kyrie Irving. And I get that. But I got to tell you something. Besides trading Kyle Lowry, which is like a no-brainer, I'd trade Jimmy Butler. Yeah, I said it. I'd trade Jimmy Butler. Do you know why? You watching how many games he's missing already? Now, if somebody needs a Jimmy Butler to make a championship run, I'd give it to him. This is the time the Heat have. The reason why the Heat are in a position that they can improve, it's because they have no weapons or no ammunition, in other words, to trade. Not enough picks, not enough players that people want, and the ones they want, you don't want to part with in Bam and Tyler, right? So wouldn't it be now the time to unload not just the Lowry salary is lazy. I never wanted that dude to ever sign here. I hated that contract, and I was dead ass right about signing that contract. And guess what? I'm dead ass right about the extension on Jimmy Butler. That was not a good extension by the Miami Heat, and that deal is only going to get worse. Instead of trying to make a move like, we'll bring in Ira and Vanderbilt or John Collins or this, that, none of these moves are going to make you a championship caliber team. Plus, the guys you have they're inconsistent. You can't really count on them. You don't know what you're getting from night to night. They're breaking down left and right. Oladipo can't stay healthy. That's a final. That's in. It's over. Move on from his ass after next year. Jimmy Butler's missed half the games this year, and Kyle Lowry is a complete waste. What are you hanging on to? What bunch of pot of gold do you think you're selling to people? You know what I'm saying? The Heat is a great organization. They've been a great organization. Now they've made mistakes, unfortunately. And in this case, they've made several mistakes. And because of the ownership group also limiting the purse strings, they also limit what the front office can do. And they're not willing to take chances just to pay some luxury tax, which to me, when billionaires cry poor, I just can't. I'm sorry. I'm not rolling with that. Now's the time. If you can unload Jimmy Butler, brother, whatever. Some team wants him. They'll give you a couple picks, maybe a young player in return because they're making a run. Give it away. The back end of this deal for the next 4 years is going to be terrible. He's only going to play less and less and less, and you're paying him more and more and more. And I love what he does. I love Jimmy Butler. Great, great player. Okay? X is a great, great player. In this business, you must do what's best for your franchise, no matter how cold and callous it may sound, no matter how cold and callous the move may be, no matter how butthurt you may get or your fans may get, or the media may get, but you've got to do what's best. And you've got to know when to get off the gravy train. Get the hell off the Jimmy Butler gravy train right now. Because any of you that say, oh, no, we got to hang on to him, you're fooling yourself. You're hanging on for what? This year's run? And then how's his body going to hold up next year and the year after that? And then it becomes an albatross, and then it becomes the X situation. And then the moment that you had that window that you had to get out of it, you lost it. And then once you lose it, nobody's taking your player. They're going to wait till an expiring year. And if I'm correct, right, I'll tell you right now, okay? Let me make sure I find this and give you the proper information, okay? And I know you guys on the chat board, please tell me what you think. How wrong am I? How right am I? How butthurt are you? He's got an extension that starts next year at $45 million. On 24-25, $48.7. At 25-26, $52.4. Good luck. It would not be, and Alexis, you and I are in the same. Start the movement. Bam has turned into the superstar. It's time to build around Bam. It's time for Bam to take over and become the guy. Get rid of these old guys. Get rid of Udonis Haslem. Make him a coach. If he doesn't want to be a coach, I'm sorry. Stop being cheap as an organization. Fill your 14th and 15th spots with real players. And even the Orlando Robinson, leave him in the G League. Let him develop. Do the right things, bro. Do the right things. Spend some money. But this way, you want to go cheaper? Get rid of all these salaries now. Get as many picks as you can. Get as many young players in return as you can. Turn over the roster and get it ready for the future. You have no future if you keep Jimmy Butler and his salary. You've already got two albatrosses because you've added, the Duncan Robinson and the Lowry one. Jimmy's will become an albatross down the line. I was against this extension, completely against this extension. I would have let Jimmy go after this year. I would not have given him an extension. I would say, hey, thank you, Jimmy. I'm sorry, but we've got to move on. 4 years is more than enough. We've tried. We did it. We wish you the best. And that's it. But now that you're locked into a future contract, man, if you can unload his ass, and if the Clippers want him, or if the Lakers want him, or if whoever wants him and they want to make a run, I don't give a shit. Memphis, whatever, I don't care. But move him. To me, that's the real move the Miami Heat make. Miami Heat fans are going to fall into the same freaking abyss that the Dolphins fans fell in for me. When I told them now's the time to trade X, oh, you crazy. Oh, you're nuts. You're an idiot. You're a moron. No. That's fine. I'm an idiot. I'm a moron. Whatever. And now 2 years later, I'm not an idiot anymore. I'm not a moron anymore. Now it's like, dude, you were right. I know I'm right here again on this one. I was right about not signing Kyle Lowry. I was right about not extending Jimmy Butler. Look at that contract this year already. It's a bad contract. Team's not very good. He can't play half the games. I'm telling you, this is the time that the move you're supposed to make is the opposite move that the Heat base is thinking. Do you know why? You all are drunk on hopium. Okay? You keep chugging that hopium and you keep thinking that this team is something that it isn't. And I don't give a shit who they trade for. That list that Ira had today in the paper, that list does nothing for me at all. It's not going to get you anywhere. You're still stuck in the same position that you've been in. So your job should be to unload Lowry or Lousy, Duncan, and Jimmy Butler. That's what you need to do. Or if you get rid of those guys and then you bring some other guys, and maybe Duncan's career can be revived or something. I don't know. Maybe it's harder to unload him or whatever, but now's the time, man. Now's the time. I love the Heat. It's frustrating to watch them every night. I don't know what the hell I'm watching. They can't compete against bad teams. They compete. They hang in there with the good teams. It's just the weirdest thing in the world, you know, and I don't know. And some of the good teams that they've played, it's deceiving because, like, oh, so you beat Milwaukee twice. Yeah, but that's not really true because you beat Milwaukee twice without Antetokounmpo. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, you know, these numbers are skewed because teams aren't even healthy and they're not playing at full rosters. So you don't really get a feel for it. And I got to tell you, man, this Kyle Lowry deal has been just an absolute albatross. And by the way, I would trade Jimmy Butler just for suggesting Kyle Lowry. Okay? Just for suggesting Kyle Lowry and the team going ahead with that is enough to trade everybody and move on and turn the page. That's what I got to say, Heat fans.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.